Drink some water. Online. All right. I'm gonna set things up first. Familiarize with the computer. Okay, it's gonna put this up here. Duplicate. Set in my color tone. What is in? Set it up. Damn, so light. -10. That's the darkness that we will be coloring. We'll be using the lineup for. Okay. Alright, so it's 7:30 and we shall begin. Okay, so today we will be, let me just check the mic first. Test. Alright, cool. Okay, so welcome to this evening 1% JR Chibi class. Today we will be teaching the process of the coloring. That's number one. The approach of choosing colors and why I do certain things and not others. The main takeaway for today's lesson will be choosing your own colors, looking at the reference, not using the eyedropper tool, which is, let's see which one, so without using the eyedropper tool of like picking colors and using for your own drawings, we will base off our knowledge, our eyeballing of the colors that is being presented. If not, we will use the eyedropper tool to assist us to choose the closest look-alike color and use it for our own coloring, our own painting. The main reason is because the way the experts, the professional, they combine the colors, they know what's going on. And if we just blindly pick the colors, you will end up finding yourself, your colors are not harmonized, your colors are very harsh or stiff, and it makes you hate your own coloring and you don't enjoy the process. So these are some things that I learned across the years. I was a color picker, color thief, or just blindly not even putting in the thinking process and just color pick and applying it to my own painting, and the colors they always turn out really harsh. Okay, so let's not talk anymore, and we shall go ahead and color now. Okay, so I made the layers here. Again, I will be doing like maybe the skin, then I'll look at the chat. If you have any questions at any point of time, feel free to leave it down in the comments, and then whenever I look back at the chat, especially if you're not using YouTube to be viewing this live stream, and if you are someone with questions, you like to ask questions, please head over to the YouTube, my YouTube, and then over there please type in the chat, because that will be the only place that I'm reading. Okay, all right, So I always start with the skin tone, and I always use a beige, a milky background, because I like my colors to have this kind of yellow tint. It makes things look softer, like a plushy. Okay, so this is my color, and let's see. This is actually my first time doing a color tutorial. Okay. Same thing, my brush settings are always set to 80%. So I will set to 80. I might change because this is the first time I'm actually coloring on this tablet and this PC. I'm not using my usual equipment. Wait. There we go. Okay. Right, then. So the usual step. Oh wait. Okay, got it. This is what I'm most afraid of. I'm going to change the scene. Let me do something first. Windows input, window capture, not window capture, desktop screen capture, browser display capture. Yeah, display capture. Yeah, I had to do this because if not, you won't be able to see this window if I just capture the Photoshop, and this is the most important part for today's lesson. Okay, so now the usual process when we choose colors, we always just choose here, like maybe the light tone, over here the mid tone, and over here the dark tone. You just move vertically downwards, but I don't want you to use this method, or rather I don't use this method. I'll be using a variety of colors, the way I choose from light to dark. Some will be going horizontal, some are going vertical, downwards, slanted, or just vertical downwards, yeah, depending on the situation. Okay, so for this one, if it is a light one, I usually move to the side here, same, and then I just go slightly lower a bit. Yeah, okay. Putting it to the side. And then I always start by doing the shading. Again, there won't be any music due to copyright issues, so it will only be the aircon in the background that's blowing, the sound, me scratching the tablet, and the keyboard sound. Alright, just gotta relax myself, it's quite tense. Okay, so I'm gonna just use the 80% because we can just always use the eyedrop to just spread it out. I don't use any soft brush, number one. I don't use any blending, smudging. I'm really just using the color picker to just pick the colors, because I'm using it 80%. So every time I pick the color and I paint it again, it's 80% opacity. Means it get lighter and lighter, and if I do it multiple times, the two colors will actually start to blend together. It's very manual. It's definitely not the most efficient way, but I find it giving me the best. I don't know how to say. It's like this is the texture, the overall feel. I love it. I like things a bit rough and smooth kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, so same thing over here. We just want to have a variety of tones going on. There we go. This unit definitely isn't as smooth as the one at home, but I'm not sure whether is it the computer or because of the size of the tablet. Yeah, because the smaller the tablet to screen ratio, I can't really do very small little details unless I zoom all the way in. Okay, because a very slight movement over here, pretty much the mouse isn't moving at all on the screen with a full zoom out. Okay, same thing over here. Gonna blend the fingers here. So the neck area. I'm gonna create colors down here as well. And for the mouth here, there's a bit of shading. There we go. And the hair. And let's skip this one. So around the nose. Okay, we're done with the first tone. The second one, same thing. I'm still moving horizontally, and then for the slider, I'm gonna put it slightly lower. So you notice how I'm not going downwards like the traditional way that people do the cell shading, which is just going downwards. You can, but the colors will look very dull. I would say there's not a lot of life. It's like very standardized. So this approach, I find it very suitable for me, and I like the vibrance and the contrast that it creates. I want to emphasize this as we go along. At every lesson, I'll do my best to keep reminding you. We'll be painting, drawing. Really, there's no fixed style. Whatever you hear today or whatever you see in this live stream is my approach to tackle a certain thing. Think it's something like handwriting. Everyone have a different style, but at the end of the day, we'll just write the same. Apple is apple, pear is pear, bear is bear, that kind of thing. But your handwriting, the way you write, is just different, and you need to find something that's very suitable for you, and you don't find it hassle to execute it as well. So this is something to take note of. There's no right or wrong, but if somehow by hearing the live stream, the tutorial, it enhances your drawing process, your painting process, then yeah, I've achieved my goals. I do not want you all to hear whatever I say and take every single word and then you just throw away whatever you have learned or have been doing. Don't do that. I want you to hear, you filter, you see whether is it suitable for you. If it is, then try it out and see if the result speaks for itself. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna paint this one as well. Okay, just a slight touch over here. Alright, then we're gonna go for another darker tone, which is maybe a bit here. It's going slightly lower. So usually people stop at 3. You got your light, your medium, and your dark. Sometimes I go for 3, 4, or even 5. 3 is really like the rule of thumb. 3, so you have the different shades, but the more shades you add, actually it gives more life, it looks more interesting, because at the end of the day it's really about interesting. So I feel that I want it to be like redder, I want it to be more greenish, I want to have a very bluish feel, like there's a blue light hitting onto the character, the drawing, then I'll just add another tint of blue, that kind of thing. So I don't really limit myself to say the skin has to be 4 shades or has to be 3, that kind of thing. There's no fixed number. It's the more you paint, the better you get with this amount of shades, the control of shades. Yeah. Okay, so it's gonna paint the nose here like a reindeer. Okay, so we're done with the skin here, and we'll go ahead to do the hair. So the hair apparently is using very close to pure white, but my white is pretty much like a tinted beige, yellowish, creamy yellow kind of thing. So I'm just gonna slide a slider like here, not all the way to the same. Again, 80%. Just gonna fill it up first, and later we'll play with whatever we have. Okay. It's okay to be slightly messy, like I color outside the line a bit. It's okay, it's cool, because we are really just plotting down the colors, the shades where they are supposed to be. Later on we will refine, and then we just clean it up. Same like sketching, line art, and then enhancing your line art. It's the same logic. So I'm gonna continue painting here. So I'll read your questions if there's any after we settle the hair. Okay, so for the hair, it's white. So technically it will be going downwards for the shade, but I want it to be slightly, I want the shadows to give out a slightly red tint, so I'm going to move into the orange zone here. Yeah, I'm going to start shading this one upwards. Same for this. I'm going to shade it. And then for the eyebrows, usually I do it the opposite direction, because like for instance, when light hits an subject, the shadow usually exists at the bottom area. But for the eyebrows, I usually paint it the opposite way. It's as if the light is shining from the bottom and the shadow is on top. I always see painting as a process, like playing with the colors, rather than it's a very manual work, or it's like a process that I have to go through, a very dull process, so that my artwork will be finished. I don't see it that way. I like to explore colors, mix and match, and then see what kind of end result I could achieve. There we go. So paint this one. Same thing here. The shadow is going upwards. Okay. Again, click it. It's gonna again slightly orangey. Move the slider downwards a bit. Continue to paint. It's gonna color mark it by the side. I will be taking a screen cap, as well as the high-res work in progress image later on. I'll be uploading to the social media, so it's easier for you to use it as a reference, or you can color pick to understand, like where's this gray, where's this orange. Just gonna put it down here as well. There. So again, we are just purely blotting in where the shades are supposed to be. We are not blending. I repeat, this is not a blending phase. Everything should look really rough, but when you zoom out, everything seems to be okay, it looks okay. The kind of reaction, that's what we want to have. Here, pulling it upwards. This one is going all the way down with a darker color. Here as well. So, darker color, then pulling up the shadows. Again, still carrying on. I still want it to be even darker. but we have to be really careful. If not, end up the hair will look as if it's a dark color hair. Really just tackling the areas that are really hidden, where the light can't really penetrate and reach. So we're gonna have this area, these little hidden areas to be slightly darker. Put some on top here as a pattern. This as well. This part here, all the way hidden inside, as well as there. Curving downwards. Oops. Slightly spreading out the grey a bit. Okay, have to control it, don't overdo. If you overdo, everything looks a bit weird. So, yep. Okay. Slightly darker on this area as well. Okay, so now that we pretty much covered the basic, the white, there's different shades for the white color. I want things to be more interesting, so I'm gonna choose maybe orange. I'm just gonna choose this color. We're gonna test it out, okay? We don't know whether it looks nice or not. Okay, it looks quite okay. So we're just gonna put some highlights here, as if there's a pink light that is shining onto the character. So I'm just gonna color this pinkish purplish color. So I'm just gonna put here. It's gonna hit this area, hit this, and probably over here. And after which, again, using the color picker, 80%, 80%, 80%, spread it out. Spread this one out here. Spread this one out slightly. Spread this at the tip as well. Okay, so this step, which is using a pink light, is like your audience didn't expect it, and then you just hits the character and it looks quite okay, then we just use it, that kind of thing. I don't really have a theory for why it looks nice, but or backing or reason or scientific finding. It just looks nice, then that's where I just keep using it already. So the key thing take away from this process is, while you are building up the colors, don't rush. Tell yourself at the end it will look great. Tell yourself the colors will harmonize at the end, because many times while we are painting, we judge the painting or we judge the progress. It doesn't look nice. Why it doesn't look nice? We always compare with the reference. It's a very common mistake. We always look at the reference. Wow, it looks so nice. Why is my painting not as nice? Of course it won't look nice. First, you are not as experienced as the professional artist who did the reference. 1. 2, you are building up something. Of course, it will not look like the finished product, which is the reference. It's normal. So you only give yourself a scoring, or you only score your own art after you finish. So while you are painting, enjoy the process. Always look out for colors to enhance your current progress and don't think about the negative stuff. It's very important. I have to emphasize this because I fell into this trap while I was learning how to paint. I always compare with my reference. Oh, my reference is so nice. And then over the years, then I start to realize, yes, of course, I have to accept the fact that I'm not as good. I'm here to learn, and over the years, things looks better. And before I know it, the mental thought of this comparing faded away by itself. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna save this progress now. And then I'm just look at the chat in case there's any. Okay, so there's nothing over here. It's 111. Okay, cool. I see whether the restream could actually see all the chat. See chat. No, there's no chat. Destination, live studio, chat. Okay, can open your browser. Hope it connects to the Facebook site and Twitch. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much, Cell Artwork. I'll work harder. Thank you. Okay, cool. So actually, Restream is using all the chat except the mixer, but mixer I think has been disconnected. Yes, I'm using 300 dpi. I always use 300 dpi because I prepare the drawing for poster printing or t-shirt printing. They require 300 dpi. I don't draw below 300, yeah, unless the system or the operating system, which is the computer, is unable to handle. Okay, so nothing over here. Okay, so we shall carry on. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate this one. Okay, then just gonna set this up here. Okay, we shall go ahead and color the dress. One tricky thing about coloring like black color or dark gray is we will fall into the trap that I'll show you an example. So we choose a color that is darker than our line art. It will create this kind of visual effects. Let's see here. I'm gonna do this process here. So I'm gonna color this one. Color this. And then I'm just gonna fill it all the way up first, so you can actually see the difference. Again, reminder, there's no right or wrong. It's always just preference. Some people like it this way, some people don't. For me, I will see it as I haven't matured. My skill level has yet to mature high enough to handle this kind of style. Just because I need to cover this entire thing to achieve the effect that I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm gonna cover this one all the way down here. And this one way here. Alright, so I always avoid using colors that are darker than a line art. You can see that a line art is much lighter as compared to the dark dress. The main reason is because it ends up attracting the viewer's attention to the dress first rather than the face, or rather seeing the whole image as a whole. It just purely just like a magnet or black hole will just attract your attention entirely. So that's why I always avoid using colors that are darker than the line art. What I will do is, number one, I'll tap onto my line art. So this is, say, is the darker color of the line art, and this is the lighter one. I'll choose somewhat in between, and maybe going for blue. Let's put it over here. And now I'll start doing this. Oops, 80%. Then I'll start painting. So there you can see it's lighter than the line art, but it's not as dark as a reference. It's okay, because we'll slowly build it up with the shadings and adding highlights. The dress will eventually look somewhat dark, but not as dark as the reference, but you know that it's a dark colored dress. Yeah. So we're just gonna color this one here, going in, going upwards. Same thing over here. Bring downward. In. The downside of using 80% is I cannot stop, because should I lift up my pen right now, the colors will overlap and you will create a darker tone, which I don't want. I want it to be all the way flat first. If not, it will look something like this. If I stop, take a break, and come back, it will create this kind of I would say dark colors. Okay, so now that we have it all laid out, we're going to choose a darker shade. I'm going to choose the ring. Okay, slightly lower color. Just going to paint it here. Shades here, there. Just going to blot it down. Blotting. Not going to just go in and finalize everything. So it's just blotting, blot. Here as well. This area here. There's going to be some shading going on upwards. Shading shade underneath here. Here as well. Okay. Now that we had it all plotted out, we're going to start slowly pulling the colors. Not going to go all in and HDify it, but rather just slightly do a quick kind of blending, so that we know if the color that we pick, the shades that we pick, are harmonizing, are they working well with each other. If not, we still can change before we start really blending, then it'll be too late. Just gonna do this as well. Even though this is like a new PC, it's definitely reacting slower. There's some sudden jerks as compared to my 5-year-old PC at home, which is the usual live stream, the PC. Not sure is it because of the software, because I'm using the latest Photoshop for the classes. Well, the Photoshop back home is like really old version, but we still can do it. It's not an excuse. Continue pulling upwards to have it as much unevenness as possible. Over here on the layer section, I'm always painting on one single layer, because I don't really like to have a lot of layers. But for the classes, I will try to do a few layers so that I can turn on and off to at least show you the difference if I were to compare certain things. So same thing over here as well. Just gonna pull up a bit the shade. I want to say pull out the painting, pull out the shades. So here. Control it slightly. Here. Right. Okay, so we have the slightly painted, and now we have the mid-tone, which is this area here. We have the mid-tone and we have the dark tone. So now we're gonna add in some light tone, because when the light hits these the material or the colors, you will have some light tone. So we use pink, somewhat pink, orange for the hair. So for the clothes, we're gonna use somewhat similar. Let's see, what do we have here? Just gonna use some here. We always test a bit and see, do you like it? Nah, I don't really like it. Then you just change and you just keep testing. Okay, I kind of like this one here. Okay, so I'm just gonna put in a little bit here. This isn't in the reference, it's really your preference. You can use neon blue, you can use lime green, up to you. It depends on what you like. For me, I think this whole drawing, I feel I enjoy a bit of orangey highlights. So I'm just gonna plot it down here. There we go. And then we're gonna start blending. Pull it up. So just blend it slightly. Pull it across. Yeah. If you think it's too bright, you can always tone it down. There we go. So that's where I'm gonna pull it, drag it. Over here, I don't think it's needed, or maybe slightly, not as much. Same for here. Wait, blend it. As well. Here. So the key thing here to take away is there will never be a brighter color than white, and there will never be a darker color than black. It sounds very weird, but okay, I'm going to show you an example. Okay, what example should I show? Okay. So let me just zoom in here. So for instance, I have a neon turquoise color circle, a neon turquoise circle, and I have a white dot. Okay, I'm gonna put it inside here. Now I'm gonna have another one. No, this is a bad example. Wait, give me a second. Yeah, okay, this example will be better. So I have this very light blue, I guess. Yeah, grayish blue. And I have a white dot inside here. Okay, and I have a black circle. Same thing, I have a white dot. inside. Now, the theory that I want to bring across to you is the white is still white, but based off the surrounding, you can bring out the brightness or the dullness or the contrast or saturation, whatever it's called. Is controlled actually by its surrounding. A color is just a color, but with a mix and match, addition, subtraction, choice of color, you can actually bring out the color. So sometimes you might meet a situation like, how come the reference is using a particular color and I'm actually using the same color, but the feeling is different? Well, it's because the surrounding colors isn't the same. So sometimes we call it like harmonization. The colors is working together, or are they working against each other? Are they reacting each other with each other to achieve the results that you want? So this is something you have to take note. Sometimes it's not the colors fault, but rather maybe it's the surrounding colors. They are over saturated or overly bright, thus you are unable to bring out that lightsaber feeling or whatsoever. Yeah, so this is very important. I spent a lot of time trying to understand this because while I was at learning phase, I was really annoyed with myself, like why the lightsaber looks so bright and my lightsaber looks like so pale instead of bright, shiny, glowy, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's very important. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna erase this thing here because it's too distracting. It will steal all the attention of the overall painting. Okay, so I'm gonna take a screen cap to mark a progress. Let me just do a screen cap. I'm using the Snip tool, which is a built-in app, in case you are wondering. Snip it, pull it, right click, save as, and then I'll use as well, I'll just call it capture. No? C1, C color 1. Yeah. Close this. Go to downloads. Go to JPEG. And then where is this? Hey, didn't I save it here? Up here. Wait. Yeah, JPEG. Okay, got it. JPEG. Downloads. C1. Save. I usually dump it in the Discord. So if you are not in my Discord, feel free to do so. It's really just shit posting, and if you have your art, feel free to share with everyone that's inside. I mainly use it as to transfer the files from the computer to my phone. I'm using this as a medium. Okay, there we go. Then we're gonna post it up here. Hi Ice Ninja, Gladys, and Chen. Welcome. Which brush do you prefer when you do line art and coloring? I'm using the same brush all the way. It's just a different size, like 10, 20, 40, 80, depending on the situation. But my brush settings is always that slanted over shape. I don't have any multiple brush thing. You can use your draw for poster and another material, right? You can't lose quality with 300 ppi. Yeah, sort of. I haven't met the situation that my 300 dpi isn't enough. Yeah, so mainly printed mediums, 300 is more than enough. Okay, so I'm gonna go down to Facebook and Twitter. Yeah, these are mainly the places that I post. I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna hit this. Go to the albums. This is my behind the scenes every time I draw to a certain progress. I'll do this. Hit the albums. Just gonna bookmark this for easy sake. Same thing here. Go down to photos. Gonna pull this here. Same for Twitter. Go to profile and pull it down here. Right. Is it here? The time did I post it here? Mobile uploads timeline class 5 items. I think I dump it here. Let me just give me a second. I want to make sure that I put it at the correct place. No, it doesn't show. Never mind. Albums. Gonna use this too. 1% Chibi Class. Color. Lesson live now on YouTube. Yeah, we'll just make everyone go to the YouTube. Live on YouTube. Post. Select this too. We might actually overshot 2 hours, even though this is a very simple character design. Like there's no too much accessories, but yeah, we'll see how. Because now it's already 8:15. And then I'm going to use my phone, hit the Discord, and download and post the same thing. Pew 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 pew. Go into Discord here. There's a lot of process. If you want to play the social media game, yeah, there's a lot of things need to be done. Let's download this. Yeah, let's download. Let's copy the text here. No, you don't. Edit caption. Select all, copy. Go down to Instagram. Send this. Paste it down here. Share. Bum 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 bum. Say a comment. I miss out. I try to reply as many comments as I can. Let's see, did I miss anything? No. Okay. Right. Okay. 2 requests. Okay. Alright. So just checking, make sure that I reply. Okay. 1 like for you. Thank you very much, Cordon. Thank you. Hi, Super Peach. George. Joe Caesar. Hi JR, maybe it's too late to asking this, but I so confused to make my chibi anatomy. I want to know how you do that. If you want to see anatomy, I'm not sure if my previous video will be helpful for you, because I didn't really break down like the proportion for the Tuesday one, but rather I just straight away tackle the character and made it into a chibi. If you have the time, you go through the video list and then you find the one on 28th July. I think it was like 3 videos back, and then you see if that video is helpful for you. If it isn't, then maybe I'll talk more about anatomy on next Tuesday sketch and line art class. Hi Sebastian. Hi, how do you choose the palette of colors? Alright, so regarding this, how do I choose the colors? Like, oh okay, why the colors somehow looks to be working with each other? Well, I have this rule that to myself is I don't go beyond, I don't go into this area here. If you can see, if this is half, then probably this is the fourth quarter. So anything in the fourth quarter I avoid. The main reason is my line art is around the third quarter area here. This is my line art line. There's this invincible line that my line art, which is supposed to be the darkest color on the entire drawing, this is my line art. So I only can play with colors above my line art area, if that makes any sense. And how do I choose the colors? I always try to keep it within this quarter over here, which is like the if I split it into half and then another half, I try to keep it within this area so it looks more pastel, not overly saturated. It's really this fluffy feeling kind of thing. Yeah, even for the darker colors, I try to keep it within this lower quarter. Yeah, so these are some I won't say rules, but rather these are some of the process when I choose colors. And again, I need to emphasize this because if not, the young artists will see it or hear it or interpret it wrongly. Is colors are only as good as your knowledge can bring it out, in a sense that a color doesn't look good is because you are unable to use it to its maximum potential. It's not because it's not a not nice color, it's an ugly color. There's no such thing as an ugly color or a color that isn't suitable. It's because the knowledge, the mileage, the grind hasn't been achieved, thus you're unable to control it. It's like a wild horse. If you are a very experienced rider, probably you can really tame a wild horse, but if you are a newbie, you're someone new, you probably get kicked by the horse. The kind of logic, it works the same way as colors. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let me just drink some water. Luckily, we chose a simple character. Okay. So I always keep the eye. Oh, what's that? Flowers. Okay, I always keep the eye to the last part because I feel that it's like the gem. So I don't want to. I always keep like it's as if I'm eating a meal, and I always keep like the nicest part to the at the last just to enjoy. Yeah, kind of something like that. Okay. So the next thing will be the white lines, and around the chest area there's a lighter tone of gray, so we're gonna tackle this area now. So if this is the color, I'm gonna choose somewhat lighter, a bit same thing, a bit orangey. Just going in and color this area here, and I am not gonna pick from this color chart. I'm just gonna use my highlights, and I'm gonna go in, just add some highlights here, just a bit. Okay, and then there's this the white color pattern. I'm gonna use the white from the hair, which is wherever is the brightest. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna start painting just a bit, maybe here, which is the brightest, just a bit. Notice how I'm not painting the entire thing. I'll explain as I go along. So this will be the brightest point for the white. Same thing over here, the brightest point where nothing is blocking, and that will be the brightest area. Same thing over here, the the brightest area over here as well. Okay. The brush, oh yeah, over here as well. There's some little curve area at the brightest point. Okay. Why I'm not coloring the entire thing? Because my brush setting is at 80%. I'll be using the brightest white or gray, and then I'm gonna color pick it, and with only 80% opacity, I'm gonna slowly blend it in, and you can slowly see that it's as if there's some shading going on. And then you're gonna hit the other side here. Just gonna blend it together. I think easily one drawing I will hit the alternate key, which is the color picker hotkey. I think got about 100 to 200 times. I'm just like press a bit, tap, press, draw, press, draw. Just a bit, press. Same thing over here. Draw a little bit, pin a little bit, tap the alternate, choose the closest color towards the blending area, and blend it down. Same thing over here, choose the closest, blend it down. There we go. So this is the main reason why I always paint at 100% first. I don't zoom in and then start painting. I want the overall colors to look as if everything is accurate, as if light is really coming from a particular source, as if I'm not making mistakes, not appearing to be a newbie when I'm a newbie, that kind of thing. It's like, tell yourself that, control the urge to just zoom in and I want to color that perfect butterfly with that neon colors. Don't control. Yeah. Then here, blend it upwards. Gonna pick here as well. It's not moving. Yeah, it's a bit laggy. This computer has no issues playing Monster Hunter, but has issues painting. It's kind of weird. I'm not really a tech person, but it's quite frustrating. It's like I'm scratching the tablet, but the brush isn't moving. Okay, never mind. We just use something like this. Later we'll zoom in at 66% to solve it. Okay, pulling this one here. Same thing for over here. If you want to add more white or just brighten things up, you can always go in and just add a bit here by the side. The ring. There we go. And over here as well. There you go. Again, always check at the reference, see if I'm missing out anything, see if you are missing out anything, any small little details. Now is the time to just add it in. Enhance certain areas if you want it to be slightly brighter. Draw some chicken scratches if you want to, just to make things look more interesting, because the whole entire dress there's no pattern, so use all this there. Don't overdo it, just add a little bit, just to fill up the space so it doesn't look so dull. Oops, I missed out here. Here, scratches. There we go. Alright, so the markings have been painted out, and then now we're gonna paint the book. I think the book is a dark color book. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty much the same color as the dress. So we're going in here. This. Give it the mid-tone. Use the darkest color from the dress, paint it upwards, pull it up, because while we pull it up with 80% brush settings, the color will start to blend in by itself. Don't really need to use anything, just color a bit, press the alternate key. I'm not sure for Mac what is it, but it's the color picker hotkey. Just paint it. There we go. And then if you still need, again, enhance it slightly. Use the highlight. Give it a bit of highlight so it doesn't look so dull. Then a bit of lighting at the bottom here. There we go. Okay. Oh, we left with the butterfly. So the butterfly, same thing. It's a black butterfly with this greenish color with some bit of blue. Same thing, mid-tone. We're gonna tackle the butterfly now. Mid-tone in. Together with the, I think it's got antenna. I think it's got antenna. Yeah, with this little thing coming out. And then choose the dark tone. Same theory as the eyebrow. I purposely choose the light coming from the bottom just to add a bit of interesting effect. Pull it downwards to create the shade. Something over here. And then a bit of highlight. Let's create some volume. It's okay to just color into the shiny area because later on we'll just color back. Just really just blotting down the colors. And then we're gonna choose the colors from the butterfly. It looks something like this. Again, eyeball, eyeball, eyeball. Pause for a moment. Look at your reference. What color is it? Roughly estimate it. If you think you are at the learning phase, give yourself the leeway, but not too much. Choose the color first. Use the picker tool, pick it. There we go. Yeah, pick it. And then you can see the difference. So just now I choose something like this over here, while the actual color is somewhat, just zoom in for a second, sorry. So for instance, I'm looking at this greenish color. I think it's something like this. And then if you are someone new, you just want to do a double check. It's like doing those kind of question and answer. You write your answer and then you flip back to see the answer sheet. So the actual answer is maybe more towards the right hand side. It's okay, it's fine. Because I'm very certain that you're looking at this color and there's no way you will pick this color. There's no way you're gonna pick red. I'm very sure you're either probably picking something that looks like green, or maybe a lime green, or maybe a blue. But I'm very sure you won't make the mistake of picking pink. So the more you draw, the more you paint, the sharper your eye will be naturally. Like all crafter, like all anyone that is grinding, the more you do, the sharper your skill set will be, the sharper your judgment will be. So don't rush this process. If you always color pick, you will never sharpen your color sense, and you will always rely on a reference. It's like riding a bicycle and you always keep the baby wheels on. Remove the wheels, you're gonna fail a few times, but I'm pretty sure 10, 100, 1,000 times later on, you will definitely succeed. So it's very important. Don't use the baby wheels. You can use it maybe the first 2 times, but that's about it. Okay, so I'm gonna still same thing, not gonna use the same color. I chose this. I'm gonna paint the other side here. And then so I'm gonna blot it in. there's a star here. Alright, so just now I'm going to zoom in just to see how the colors are being played out. So at the bottom area is a bit of bluish, so I'm going to pick the blue. And there's a bit of pink, so I'm going to pick the blue here, just color it. And then I'm going to pick the pink. Maybe slightly faint a bit, so a bit harsh, the pink that I'm using. Okay, and then just gonna blend it a bit. Just gonna zoom out. It's a bit hard. It feels much better by zooming in. And just blend it. Okay. Like a mess is okay, it's fine, because you're just plotting the colors. It's okay to be messy during this phase, or rather, I want you to be messy at this stage. Do not go into a particular area, especially the eyes. Okay, the common mistake is go into the eye, HD fine, refine it until like the maximum, super shiny, and the rest of the parts are not done. You end up giving yourself a lot of stress because you raise the benchmark way at the start. You didn't progress everything together, and you'll burn yourself out very quickly. Oh. Painting is a very tiring process, so you must pace yourself. Don't pour all your effort into one particular area right at the start. Okay, her eyes. The eyes. Okay. That's a bit reddish. Let me see. Let me just open this up. Reach of grid. RE0. Ichidan. I still don't know pronounce it. Ichidan. Image gallery. I think her eyes. Really? A bit of purplish. Okay, and white eyelashes. Got it. I made a mistake. Phew. Okay, so this one gotta be white later on. So make sure there's pure white here. White. Okay, so a bit of purplish, reddish, something. I never gonna read up all the color, their actual term. They always have this turquoise, emerald, or this kind. I don't really know, so I just call it purplish. But it's not. Purple is over here, but it's not. A bit of in between. Okay, so we're gonna color here. Just gonna color this as well. And then I'll just darken it first. Nah, I don't like this. Moving downwards. I think I feel like using a purple bluish tone. There we go. Just a bit. Press the alternate key. Slowly start pulling the value downwards. There, pulling the value downward. And even lower. Okay. Over here, click it. Going upwards to the more contrast area. Here. Here, going in. Even and pulling out even more to the contrast area. And the white pupil. Maybe 2. There we go. And lastly, I want this to be bigger. I like this to be bigger. Maybe can make it more pinkish. So it's always addition, subtraction, addition, subtraction. You feel what is needed, you add in. You feel what is not needed, you reduce it. I feel that the cheeks here, I want it to be more reddish. I don't think I'm choosing the right. No, it's too harsh. And it's too pinkish. Slightly going backwards, yeah. Try again. Wait. Choosing the white. There we go. So yeah, mainly the colors have been plotted, and I don't like this red here. Just gonna remove this. It's kind of weird. Maybe I want to use this. Can I use this? Looks good. And maybe a bit of bluish. Yeah, I kind of like this. Yeah, so yeah, there you have it. This is the color blocking phase. We took about an hour plus just to get this character color blocked out. You can see that it doesn't look exactly like the reference. It's not the same as the reference in terms of I didn't color pick every single color and use the same color values for the drawing, the painting, but rather by using the eyeball, I try to achieve the essence, the vibe, if you can relate to these kind of terms. So like on one glance, you know, okay, it looks somewhat like the main character, or rather the reference character, and that's about it. You have reached your target. No one will fault you if your darker color is not as dark. This kind of thing. So it's always on your own. Give yourself, sometimes just give yourself a break. It's okay to be slightly off. Huh? Okay, so same thing. We're gonna snap it and answer some questions, and we will move on to blending the colors. So we're gonna use the snippet tool. I love this tool so much. It's so convenient. Snip it, pull it, save it. Color 2. Oops, sorry, no slash. Photoshop, JPEG. C2. Save. Same thing. Throw it over here. Then going down here. This color 2 and C2. Oops. And this. Oops. This and this. Here, this and this. Then pose it up. Tweak this as well. make sure that okay, just make sure that there's no comments or anything that I left out. Over here is all good. Looking at here, you're welcome, George and Chen. You're welcome, Sebastian. Okay, so same thing. I'm going to use my mobile phone, going into Discord, download the file, and put it out on Instagram. I hate this process. What's this? Please confirm. I think what did my mother send me? Please confirm. Yeah. Okay. Going into Discord here. New message. Nope. Download this. Download. Instagram. Ooh, that's nice. Okay. Go here. This is gonna move it down slightly. Going into Facebook to copy the text. Select all, copy. There's a lot of copying here and there actually. Yeah. Maybe next time I'll do a live stream on what's my process of doing all this social media. I have streamlined this, so even though I have multiple platforms to post, it's a lot easier. Color lesson, live on YouTube, come on, share. Yes. Same thing, press it out. Check here. Later then read the DMs. Okay. It's gonna just minimize the app. Shouldn't be taking up too much battery. Okay. No questions, no questions. Okay, cool. Alright. Seems like you all have pretty much get a hang of this one. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Again, I assure you, there's no silly questions, there's no stupid questions. Whatever questions you have, high chance someone else that's watching the live stream has a similar question, and then you actually help them to get their questions answered as well while answering your own. So just type it out. If I can answer, I'll answer. If I can't, I will maybe introduce some other things to give you the answer. Yeah. Okay. So now we're gonna HDify, blend, smooth, whatever the term is. Time to zoom in. I always work at 66% or maybe 50, but I don't do it 100. Yeah. There's no reason, a particular reason why I'm not doing it 100. It's just 66 is enough for me to smooth things out. Let me check if the camera is still shining. Oops. Okay, just want to make sure that the camera is still looking at this tablet. So this tablet you're looking right here, not promoting or whatsoever, but I'm just showing you that today or even Tuesday, whatever you see that is being drawn, I'm using a tablet that is, I'm going to show you on Amazon. Okay, so we're going to go Amazon for a minute. What's this? Star G640S. Okay, we're going to go Amazon. Amazon USA Star G640S. Okay, we're going to see the price. Singapore and US price, because US is like the price easier for you to understand if you are not from Singapore. So this tablet I'm using right here, it only costs you 50 USD, 50 USD. Yeah, I'm not using some fancy tablet, I'm not using some high-end tablet. It only costs 50 USD. Okay, and if you're from Singapore, is it in US? Sing? Wait, this is in Sing. Wait, so maybe USD is even lower. Yeah, I think it's lower. Let's see. Wait, USD, come on. Best Buy. Okay, so Best Buy. No, Best Buy doesn't sell. Oh yeah, it's 50 USD. Okay, cool. And for Sing, it's also 50 Sing. Okay. No. Sorry. Star. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, it's a bit more expensive. So if it's in Singapore, this thing will cost you 70. Now it makes sense. Okay. So for USD, the tablet I'm using, it costs you 50 USD, getting from Amazon. And if you're in Singapore, the tablet I'm using right here costs you 70 Sing. Okay, not sponsored, not selling you whatsoever. This tablet, my main point to prove to you is a cheap tablet that has a decent standard is good enough for you to draw chibi drawings. Okay, so if you are starting out, if you are moving from traditional to digital, don't spend your savings getting those $500, $1,000 tablet. Rather save the money for future purposes and just get this tablet. It's more than enough. This is the point I want to prove, and this is the point I've been proving ever since I started GR Pencil. Okay, so let's go in and play with the drawing. I see a drawing somewhat like a Monster Hunter boss, although I use mods. It's really just, if you win, you get a nice drawing. If you lose, try again. Okay, let's start blending. I really need music. Okay. So blending is even more pressing of the Alt key. And the response time is kind of laggy. Photoshop, why you like that? It's supposed to be smoother with your newer version. Okay, so same thing, just blend, make sure the thing looks smooth. The main reason why on the left side is the full drawing, so that when one glance, if the particular area you have been blending looks somewhat decent, looks somewhat smooth, no longer look like splatter of paint, then yeah, you've done it. Then you move on to the next area. Maybe it's the brush. I think it's the brush. Yeah, okay. It's gonna, yeah, I think it's the brush because I set it too big. Yeah. This PC max is probably 200, while the PC at home is about 300. Then it starts lagging. Yeah, things look smoother now. Okay, so if let's say your computer is lagging, your Photoshop is lagging, probably your brush is being too big. So maybe just make it slightly smaller. Oh yeah, make sure to save your file. So go here, pull it up here. Blending. There isn't like how much should I pull it up, how much should I blend before I swap to another color. There's no hard rule, but rather it's really based off your experience and the overall drawing. And then you determine how much of a darker tone you want to blend in and how much of the lighter tone you want to blend in. A painting is all about addition and subtraction. There's no fixed 20% dark, 30% light, 50% whatever. Yeah, there's no formula. So a technique, that's it. And the rest is all about adding and minusing. Over here as well. Let's go. Just gonna blend this here. Just blend it. Blend this. Same thing, blend this as well. The number of times you see the ring appearing and disappearing and just flashing is the number of times I'm pressing the Alt key for the color picker. I must blend slower. I'm pressing too fast, causing the computer to actually spike. Always blend and then check at the overall image. Don't go all in and happily blend. And when you look at the overall image, oh crap, the shadow, the shadings, everything is all off. So yeah, always blend maybe 50 minutes, 5 minutes, or maybe just the eyebrows. You're done already. Check. Oops. Blend this here. The blending is a very repetitive process. There's really no instant magic for this part. The only thing to take note of will be, while we are blending, always turn and look at the overall image to prevent pulling in too much colors or subtracting too much colors. You can start off from the legs and all the way moving up to the hair, or you can start from the hair and moving all the way downwards to the legs. It's up to you. Sometimes I will just jump all over the place. I will move on to the weapons, the hair, the eyebrow, the fingers, again the legs, then moving back to the hair. It really depends on the character that you're working on at a point of time. But no matter what character, no matter how complicated or simple it is, blending is still blending. Just tap the Alt key, press it multiple times, and slowly blend things. Too fast. Let it slow down, spiking again. Again, there's a lot of like empty spaces here and some chicken scratches. Downwards here, blending. Choose a lighter tone. So there's a depth. Choose the pink highlight, add it to the tip here. If you feel that during the blocking process you have left out some things, or while you are blending you felt that this area could be enhanced, whether is it adding highlights or adding more shades, feel free to do so. Blocking process is really to make things a lot easier. It should not define or restrict you from adding more colors. Same thing for a sketch. A sketch is to make things easier for you when you're doing line art. If you feel that the sketch can be better while doing the line art, just adding a bit more details, feel free to do so. Don't be restricted by your own drafts, because at the end of the day, these are just drafts. It's there to assist you. It's not there to lock you down or restrict your creativity. This down here. Again, look at your full-blown drawing just to make sure that everything is in place, not overly blend. blending outwards. More chicken scratches. Save your file, very important. You should save. Over here I want to just highlight a bit, so I move down, adding a new color, just give it outline. Same for this area here. I add some chicken scratches inside. Same for this. And this as well. Continue to blend. As well as this area here. Just a lot of manual work pressing the Alt key. The price to pay when you just use a single brush. This is the price to pay for laziness. Just Alt. Okay. There we go. I think over here can add some marks. Okay. Just gonna go in and then tidy up the face area. So it's white color. Same thing over here. Blushes are pink. Clean up the eye. So make sure that it stays within the eye. Blend the eye. The other side. Clean out the eye so that everything stays within the eye. Blend. Shading. Same for the face area. Just gonna shade it up. color. There's some shadows. Let's blend the butterfly. It's gonna clean out the antennas. Blend the highlight. Blend it just to fill up the entire bright area. Blending again. Painting outwards. Save. Add a bit of pink to the side here. Okay, there we go. Slowly moving downwards. Just stretch the back. Okay. Right. Let's carry on the neck area. Gonna blend the dress. Okay, so before I begin on the dress area, let me just check through the chat just in case if there's any questions. Okay, Sebastian, did you put all the colors in the same canvas? Yes. They are on the same layer. They are pretty much, yeah, they are on the same canvas, and when I blend them together, it seems like they blend better if they're on the same canvas. Yes. Hi, Chong Clement. 是的，我在这边做直播，拜二、拜四我都会有课程来教怎么样画 Q 画，然后我画 Q 画的方式。对。Okay, so nothing here on the Facebook and Twitch area. I hope that Facebook one really don't have anything. Let's see, I think just give me a minute, I do some checking. Make sure that everything's okay. Over here, video, one comment. Is it okay if I watch this later? I have to do something, sorry. Yes. Oh my goodness. Do I care? Reply 100%. You 100%. I will not delete the video. Please feel free to watch it whenever you're free. It doesn't appear on the restream chat. It's kind of weird. Okay, the next one will be the Facebook one. Live now. Fresh. Any questions? No, there's no questions over here. Okay, can. Right. Okay, drink some water. Whew. Oh crap, almost 9:30. That means not enough time. Need to run 3 times a week. Damn. Okay. let's carry on. Because need to factor in the docking process, also takes time. Should I go across 9:30 and you are available to continue watching? Please do not worry. The videos will be available on the YouTube, Facebook video section. So you can always watch it at your own pace, drag, scrub the video to see which area you want to learn. So yeah, don't worry, the video, I will not delete the video. Yeah, so please go ahead and do your stuff if you have anything to do lah. Or just stop watching because it's really very tiring to just watch someone draw for 2 hours straight. Okay, let's continue blending here. Same over here as well. Again, blending a highlight. Slowly blending upwards. Sometimes you have to pull back and forth so it doesn't look that harsh. The blend doesn't look that like being forced. If like you pull up and then the color somehow doesn't look nice, then pull downwards and pull upwards again. A bit of tug of war, and then everything should look okay. Here. Scratches. On this highlight, on this. Okay, yeah. Just remember to save your file. Scratches to fill up this. Over here as well. Slowly blending upwards. Well, blending. Same for the fingers. This BenQ, the monitor that I'm using right now, which is a new monitor, the color is very fresh and soothing. Not bad. Chicken scratches. Again lagging. Don't crash. Slowly pulling up here. Over here. Blending. This part very wide, need to enlarge the brush size. Slowly pulling outwards here, blending. Same thing here, pulling downwards. Blending downwards here. Scratches. Scratches. Here as well. Always check with the full-blown image to make sure that everything is done properly. Not over blending any particular area. If you are, at least looking at the full image will remind you that okay, so you're over blending, you need to stop and then pulling back the whatever darker tone or brighter tone that's needed to balance things out. Same thing over here, blending. Same for the book. As well. Okay. Now we're gonna start blending the skirt. Shadows. here, there's some shadows. Nodes. Blending. Chicken scratches. Same thing over here. Blending. Blend this small little part here as well. So whenever you tackle each area as individual areas, but rather not seeing it as a whole, like, oh, I need to finish this chibi within whatever hours, but rather just focus on, okay, now I'm doing the skirt, okay, now I'm doing the hair, okay, now I'm doing the face. See it as like quests, like small individual quests. Okay, I'm gonna finish the hair now. Okay, good. Moving on to the face. Good. Now moving on to the hair, the eyes. Okay, good. So when you start breaking things down, you don't get overwhelmed by the completion of the stress of completing the artwork. And if you don't have any stress of completing it, then your painting will look more natural, your colors will feel happier and stuff. You know, if you rush things through, everything will look very tight and tense, and the viewers, despite not being an artist, will be able to feel it. So it's very important. Okay, so over here, I'm just gonna blend this. As well. Just gonna paint this. Alright, so the I haven't almost forget. Yeah, see. So I have the overall picture open. So sometimes I will miss out. Give it a quick save, and yep, we're gonna do a screen cap for the current progress. Save. I'm going to snip to new file, save as color 3. Let's close this. Save on the JPEG .c3. So gonna throw this over here on C3 and color 3. Okay, thumbs up. Okay, and then we're gonna upload to the social media. Let's close this. 1, 2. I'm gonna keep this open. Later we might need it. It up. I think I did it. Leave. This is this. Let's see. Pitch. Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure that is the correct one. Okay. Okay, so same thing. I'll read through the comments in a minute. I'm gonna post this on Instagram. My back. Okay, so we hit 9:30. We're almost done. We only left the line art, so I think we need to add 2 more hours in. But excuse me. Okay. So on first glance, the blending and the blocking, if you really go and compare the 2 images, it doesn't have a lot of difference, but there is a difference. And the difference will shine even bigger when we start coloring the line art. Yeah, so it's very important to blend. Cannot just stop at the coloring phase. Select or copy. Then we're going down to Instagram. It looks nice. Sometimes I see some interesting stuff, I'll share on the story. So you're gonna have this here. Have this. This one, sure. Into here. Okay. Okay. So we're done with that. Let me just read through if there's any comments or questions. Alright, so Sebastian. So do you like show us the pen again? I watched the stream on Tuesday, but for some reason when you show the pen did not appear on the screen. Okay, can. Got it. It must be the settings because I capture the window. Thank you. Okay, so this is the brush that I'm using right now. I'll show you the process on how to get this brush by the hard round brush, which is the default round brush in Photoshop or any of your drawing programs if they allow you to do your settings. So first step, I will turn it to about 20 degrees and then I'll just slant it over. That's it. Yeah. So if you want the numbers, it will be like 54, 51, but I don't really see these numbers. I know that so long this triangle is pointing to this corner or slightly higher, and that's about it. This is the brush setting that I use. For all this dynamics thing, I pretty much just keep it to the default because I don't really remember things really well. So if I go to different computers or different workstation, I can very easily recreate this brush without too much tweaking. And smoothing is, there's no default, there's no settings. It's either on and off, that's all. So I keep it on. Yeah. So yep, that's about it for the brush settings. You take the round one, turn it up here, oops, and then you squish it. That's it. Pretty straightforward. Yeah. Okay, so okay. Okay, so let's see. Okay, cool. Okay, move on. So now we are going to do we are going to color the line art, which is like the final phase for today's drawing. Let me just drink some water. Oh, it's 9:30 already. I mean 7:30 to 10:30. Might need to extend. If not, cannot learn anything. Then you defeat the purpose for the class. Even if I can squeeze it within 2 hours, the students won't be able to absorb that quickly also. Okay. Alright, into the line art. So how do we choose the colors? I don't really have a finalized formula yet, but this is what I'm doing. I always choose the darker color, for instance the hair. If this is the darkest color for the hair, if I choose it, I'll slowly go lower, and yeah, and I'll test. So I'll start doing this, like drawing over, and then I'll look at the overall image. Okay, it looks quite good. Then I'll just carry on. If it give out a vibe that I don't like, then I'll just change the color. Yeah. So I'll pick the color darkest in the area, and then I'll just lower it down even more. Yeah. Chicken scratches. Undo is way too thick. Here, and then while I'm doing this, I will choose the brightest color. For instance, maybe this tone, and then I'll just pull out the lines. It's a bit too thin. Let's make it thicker. Pull out the lines here. Same thing for this. Pull it out. Just to emphasize a bit more. Same thing over here. Pull it down. Pull it down as well. This one here. As well. Notice how I did not cover everything, but the line art, the dark color line art is still somewhat visible. I just leave it. Sometimes you can just create some extra effects. Okay, I think mostly have been covered. Just gonna draw the eye. Same thing for this side. You can use the colors to just clean it up, so that the eyelashes looks whiter. Area here. Oops. face. I'm gonna choose something or orangey. Same thing, test. See if it's okay. Everything looks fine. Okay, can maybe test on bigger area. I think it's a bit too high on contrast. This one's a bit too dark. Okay, this looks good. Again, remember to save your file. Carry on pulling it downwards here. Then for the lips or the smile or the mouth, I usually choose whatever skin tone that I have, and there's more towards the red color. There we go. And then for the nose, same thing. If this is the dark color, I'll choose something that's darker, a bit more reddish. This one is a bit too red. This is still a bit too red, pinkish. Okay, yep. Make sure the eye, same thing. The shape. The outer line. I want to use maybe this color. See if it's possible. I think it's a bit too red. This is a bit too dark. Blue. Slightly lighter. So a lot of try and error. Remember, don't rush, because once the drawing is finalized, it's pretty much finalized. So try to take your time and get it right. Make sure the whole vibe, when you look at the overall drawing, you enjoy it. If not, once you finalize it, you finish, you call it done, and then when you start uploading, kind of regret. I should have erased this part. Don't have any regret. This white pupil over here needs to be slightly bigger. I felt I drew it too small. Maybe a pink. Oop. Oops, keep pressing the window key. Okay. Alright, then usually I will like to emphasize the face, because the face is after all the most important part. So it's the ear area if it's being exposed. So it's a bit too thin, so I'll do it again. Slightly thicker. Still too thin, in slightly thicker. Yep, okay, good. Alright, so for the butterfly, I will be using the same color for the line art, because the items for the dress and the butterfly is like dark color, but I will be bringing out the outlines for the brighter areas. So I'm going to use a very bright color and just give it a look. Oh, it doesn't look nice. Okay, let me try. Try again. Choose a darker color first. Give it a look first. Okay. Give it a look. Same thing for over here. Give it a look. Same for the star. Loop it first. Then we loop it again. Just give it some highlights. Same thing for here. Okay, now back to the dress. So since we're not gonna draw over the line art, we can actually refine it, like emphasizing all these shiny areas. Same thing over here. Just refining all these lines. slightly. Tidying up this area here. lighter gray or the darker gray. Just bring out the shape. Again, chicken scratches by the side. Using a brighter color to bring out the sleeves. For the hands, I'll use the same line art color as the face. And give it a coat. Same thing here, a gray coating. It's gonna thicken the patterns line. It's gonna bring out the line as well. So we can repeat the same thing for the rest of it. Remember to save your canvas. Time to time, let's have the habit of just pressing Ctrl S. Why is it always tung tung tung? My goodness. Oh, let me just stretch my back. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing over here. Just a bit of highlight. Strengthening the lines. Same thing over here, strengthening the lines. Then enhancing the lines here as well. Okay, so instead of using gray, because it looks like as if everything is the same, I'm just gonna pick the colors from the finger. Oops, colors from the finger. Just give it a tint of reddish orange, I guess. Nah, it doesn't look nice. Sometimes it doesn't look nice if it's a fail. Okay, let's try again. Alright, so let's see. Looking at the overall image, if anything could be better. Maybe the eye here. Could I just add a bit more star inside? Nah, I think it's good. Shall not add more stuff there. Okay, so if everything looks okay, the last check, because you don't have a teacher beside you to check your work, flip your canvas. Press the F1. Okay, I saw it. yeah, here. So I could just extra in this. Yeah, there we go. So sometimes why I always flip the canvas while I draw is because your eyes is being used to the drawing. You have been staring it for the past 4 hours. You are used to it. Even if something looks off, it will look somewhat normal to you. So by flipping the canvas, you refresh your eye, you got a fresh pair of eyes, and immediately somehow you will notice like where should you actually improve or edit your drawings. So that's why I always have a habit of flipping the canvas here and there. Okay, and I guess we are done. We just need our final check, which is just magic 1, 2. It's gonna Control Shift, invert it, select, modify, contract it by 5 pixels, and we're gonna duplicate this. Right, everything still looks okay. It's gonna off the other layers first. Magic 1, 2, magic 1, magic 1, magic 1. Yeah. Select, modify, expand 5 pixels. Yeah, and then let's delete it away. Again, always look at the overall drawing and not the zoom in version. Don't pay attention to the right side here. It doesn't matter anymore. It's always on the left side. Even better, you want to push yourself to be even better. Have one at the full view and one at a small view. Sometimes your drawing looks very nice when it's on the full view, but sometimes when it's being placed into a thumbnail form, you can immediately see something is off, and you can go and rectify it immediately. So everything looks okay. I think the skirt looks kind of wobbly. Don't know, is it a graphic glitch? Yeah, I think it's a graphic glitch. Yeah. So yep, and that's it. You survived Tuesday and Thursday session of non-stop drawing. It's really packed to the max. Yeah, it's really packed to the max. Sebastian, will you continue with this kind of videos? Yes, I will make it a point, and I will do it every Tuesday and Wednesday. Sketch and line up for Tuesday, and colors on Thursday. I'm using this opportunity as well to train my speaking, as well to refine my wordings so that I can teach or guide as many young artists as possible. And for you, if you feel that this is very helpful, and if listening to someone teaching you to draw could actually help you along the way, even though every week is the same thing, just a different character, I will say the same thing over and over again. Like how I keep drawing the same character, same chibi, just a different character. Yeah. So yes, every week I'll be doing it. George, damn. You redraw the line art? Yes, I redraw the line art. There's a lot of work actually behind a chibi that you see I post online. There's a lot of redrawing, enhancing, this little tweaking, so that when it's being minimized by seeing on the phone, like on the Instagram, or even made into a very small keychain like this. Let me just, here, like so small, even this size here, it looks filled with details. This is the results I want to achieve when I'm drawing a chibi. I don't give myself the leeway that it's a chibi so I can throw away the details. Even more, I want to make sure that it's a chibi, it should look very refined and very detailed. Yeah, chibi review, kind of. Okay, so let me just check the other side. I see cool notes. Checking the, making sure. Yeah, I think this should be all the chat. If there's nothing here, everything should be okay. So yeah, once again, thank you very much for your time. I will be uploading the drawing later on to the social media as usual. And I was just thinking to myself that for all the lessons character, for instance, this particular character, if you are a patron, I'll be throwing the line art, not line art, all these working files with the brush, which is Photoshop only, let me repeat, which is Photoshop only. I'll be backing up this entire PSD, putting up on Patron. So if you are a patron, please download it and learn. Again, I'm not asking you to be a patron because the resources are already there. I've shown you the settings. You don't need the working file, but if you want, you'll be on Patron. So every week there will be one character of working file that's up there on the Patron. I think it's a good way to earn some side income for myself. Yep, okay, so that's about it. The clipping mask thing, no, I don't. Clipping mask to recolor the line. I thought at this phase you're gonna clip mask. No, don't have. No clip mask. Just freehand draw. I actually used the clip mask before, but I felt that it was really stiff. It doesn't have the natural feel, so I threw the clip mask away and just redraw. Yep, you're welcome, Sebastian, and thank you very much for everyone for your time. Okay, I'll see you all next week. Bye bye.